Okay, so what we just talked about, 4-6 inequalities in one triangle. If this angle goes bigger, if letter C was the biggest angle, which side would be the biggest side? Remember, pretend like this was my little angle here. Look across from it. So what would it be?
C. A.
No, C is not across from it. What's the one across from angle C? AE would become the biggest side. That's right. So the angle is directly related to the size of the side across from it. Okay, that's going to be the whole point of today. So if two sides of a triangle are not congruent, then the largest or the larger angle is directly opposite from the longer side. Wherever the biggest angle is, the biggest side is across from it. Wherever the smallest side is, the smallest angle is across from it. That's really all it's saying. Converse goes backwards. If two angles of a triangle are not congruent, then the longer side is going to be found directly across from the larger angle. So suppose that this is the biggest side. What would the biggest angle be? Angle. What would the biggest angle be? A. Yep. Then that one would be bigger. So it's just directly related to the one across from it. That's really all you need to know for today. So let's look at number 2 down below. Is anyone still writing?
Me.
Okay. You just start from whatever you know is biggest, and you go directly across from it, and you'll find the segment or the angle that's the biggest. Cell phones away, please. Let me know when you're done. Okay, so look at example 1 down below. Or example 2, sorry. They ask us to find the largest and the smallest angles. We can't tell that just from the picture, but we can tell which are the largest and the smallest sides. So look at example 2. Which side is the longest side? The 7, the DF. So to find the biggest angle, what I do is I look directly across from it. And what's the biggest angle there? E. So it's just angle E. All you do is look to the opposite side or the opposite angle. Let's do all the largest ones right now. Look at number 2. What would the largest side be? Okay, the angle would be Q. The largest side is 8. So you go directly across from that and you find angle Q. Angle Q is the biggest angle.
This is hard.
Find the biggest side and look directly across from it. Number 4. Just go ahead and tell me what the biggest angle would be. C. Good. Because since 10 is bigger, the biggest angle is directly across from it. So to find the smallest angle, where would you look across from?
4.
The smallest side, 4. That's right. Sorry, I just need something here. So back to number 2. The smallest side is 4. So to find the smallest angle, all you do is look directly across from that. So here's your here's your smallest side right here. What letter is directly across from that?
F.
Angle F. Good. And I don't really like that.
I like that code.
Yeah, but people can't really see it very well. Okay, so angle F. Smallest angle over here. Start at the smallest side. What's the smallest side?
5. Oh,
3. 3 is the smallest side. So you start from that side and you go across the triangle. And what angle do you find? Angle R. And then you have this over here. What would the smallest angle be?
Angle B.
Angle B. B is across from the 5. 5 is the smallest side, so B is across from that. That makes it the smallest angle. Okay, so if it's a triangle, only angles are across from sides. So it wouldn't be 2 angles, it would be an angle and a side. Look at the next one. The directions change. It says to now find the largest and the smallest of the longest and the shortest sides this time. So in order to find the largest side, you have to find the largest angle. Now this angle right here is 130 degrees. That's obtuse. Could you have anything bigger than that in that triangle? No, because that would be over 180 degrees, right? We have to stay on 180. So we could do 180 minus 135 and minus 15, and we would get 35 degrees right there. Minus 130 and minus 15. Oh, you subtract both of them. And then the largest side is going to be across from the largest angle. So what's the biggest angle now? E. What is the side directly across from the E? DF. Yep. It's the whole segment that starts at D and goes to F. So this is the biggest side, or the biggest angle, and the biggest side is directly across from it, DF. Let's see. In triangles, in case you haven't noticed, it's the two other letters. If E is the biggest angle, then it's the two other letters besides DF. And number 6. This is 70, this is 35. What does angle R equal in degrees? Check your calculators.
75.
75, thank you.
Easy money.
So now, what's the biggest side going to be? R is the biggest angle, and then across from it is PQ. Good. Alright, all you have to do is find the biggest one in the picture and then look across from it. Angle R is the biggest angle, so across from it is side PQ. Alright, let's do the smallest now. Questions? Number 5, what's the smallest angle? D15. Now be careful when you go across, it's basically just going to be the other two letters. What are the other two letters in the triangle? EF or FE. So this one is the smallest side. EF or FE. In this case, the smallest angle is 35 degrees P. So the smallest side would be directly across. What's the smallest side going to be? RQ. Alright, do number 7 right now on your own. Take about 20 seconds. Before you do anything, you have to figure out what angle S actually equals. Subtract it off from 180. I hope you have calculators here every day.
Angle S. Angle S is 45. Or what is it?
Okay, 100.
Yeah, both of the numbers. Subtract 135, subtract 145.
45 plus 135 is 180.
Starting the problem.
Check the seat how you know.
What'd you get for angle S before you give me the answers? What was
45.
S? 45. So that means that it's neither the biggest nor the smallest. Those are going to come from here. So what did you get as your biggest side? SB. And your smallest side? Anybody have questions on how that works?
No. Just Betsy, this is easy.
Good. Now as you look down at the bottom of the page, what we did the other day, you're going to have problems like that from your homework. So review that as you begin your homework. But right now, turn the page. We're going to do one section at a time. So I'm going to do, we already did these. Oh, I didn't give you the right answers yet. So check your answers from last Thursday. Check these really quickly. See if you did them well.
Yes. No. No.
Check your answers. You did this section last Thursday.
No.
I figured out how to do something.
Did you? Yeah.
Yeah.
And you want to do it that time. That way, every time they ask you to find a range of values where they say between what two numbers could it be. Do it that way. Any questions on 1 through 9? All right, then down to the middle of page number 1. I'm going to do the left-hand side. You're going to try some on your own. So first thing is to read the directions. List the angles in order from least to greatest. So that means the smallest one has to go first. So look at all your sides here. Find the smallest side and tell me the angle across from it. Tell me the smallest angle.
3.97.
That's the biggest. They want to go from least to biggest.
But it's across from
Oh no, approximate has to be another angle, not another side. Angle B. Yep. This is the smallest. And approximate, across means that it's another angle. It can't be another side. So angle B is the smallest angle. What's the biggest angle? Find the biggest side and go across from it.
Oh.
Angle O. This one's the biggest one. So leave some space and we'll say angle O, and then what's the middle one? Easy. Okay. Least to greatest. So do number 2 and 3.
For triangles and for this whole chapter, it's always going to be an angle that's across from a side. It's never going to be a side across from a side. Sides across from a side would be if there's 4 sides and you even have sides.
Angle G.
GKH.
G, H, K.
Wait, it matters what order it's in?
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
The direction
least to
said
greatest.
least to greatest.
Oh.
It matters because of the question. So the smallest was G across from the 12, the middle was H across from 16, and K was biggest across from 20. For number 3, it was X and Z, then Y. Question on that? For the next one, the directions change slightly. You have from shortest to longest, but this time you're going to list the sides in order. So I'll do one with you. For number 4, my smallest side is going to be across from my smallest angle. What's the smallest angle there? E, 28 degrees. So if I go across from that, what do I get? AD. Yep, and when you're just labeling the line, you put a bar across the top. AD is the smallest.
Yep.
What's the biggest?
AE.
AE across from 90. So I put that last. My biggest one was last. And then what's in the middle? Or E to B, either way. Okay. Smallest, middle, biggest. Try those two for a minute. For number 5, what did you get?
LIJI.
Good. Any questions on that one? Number 6, what was the smallest? And then? And then? Good. Any questions on that?
Let's get it.
All right, last one for us to do together because it looks complicated, but it's really not. I'm going to read it. And the first thing I want to hear from you is what should I start with? What should I draw? What should be the beginning of my recital? List the sides of triangle ABC in order from longest to shortest. If the angles of ABC have these indicated measures. What should I start with?
A.
A triangle. Yep, and we'll put angle A on it. So start with the triangle. Down it. Problem number 7, make yourself a triangle. Doesn't really matter what it looks like. It just has to have 3 sides and 3 angles labeled A, B, and C. I'm going to go ahead and put that information into my picture. A is 5x plus 2. B is 6x minus 10. C is x plus 20. Where's number there? It's the angles inside a triangle. You just add them up to 180. And that's an easy way to solve for x. So, you can add them all up, or you can just do it in your head. 5x and 6x is 11, plus another one is 12. So we have 12x. Now combine your other like terms. Negative 10 and 20, that's positive 10, plus 2 is positive 12. But since it's the inside angles of a triangle, they have to add up to 180. And then we solve that for x. Questions? Are you working this out with us?
Yes, ma'am.
Minus 12 on both sides. 168. And divide both sides by 12. 14. Love to say that we're done, but we're not.
You gotta plug it in.
Now we plug it in. Okay, and when we plug this one in, we are going to get each of the angles. So this one I can do in my head. 14 plus 20 would be 34 degrees. I need your help with the calculators for this one. 6 times 14 and then minus 10. 74. Good. You guys are allowed to use calculators every single day.
Nope,
That's
not
not
the answer.
5 times 14 plus 2. 72. Alright, now with your calculators, before we move on.
Make sure you can.
That's right. Add 72 plus 74 plus 34. See if you actually get 180. Make sure we didn't make a mistake. Are we good?
Yes.
Yeah.
Alright, still not done.
Oh my
They want us to write the sides from longest to shortest. So the longest side is across from the biggest angle. So the biggest angle is 74. What will my biggest side be?
AC.
AC I write first. Good.
DC.
Good. The middle angle is 72. Across from that is BC.
Bro, I couldn't find you.
And the smallest angle is 34. Across from that is
Pendejo.
80.
Niño menso.
Okay, you have 2 minutes to try number 8. What did you get for X? 9. 9. Good. And then once you take that 9 and you plug it in, what was your biggest side?
AC.
AC. Let's check it.
Someone took my 20, so I took 21.
AC was the biggest. AC was the biggest. I had AC as the
16.
smallest. I had a problem.
Sorry, DC. Sorry.